listened to any of those bands that you all have just mentioned growing up. I wasn't, well, I didn't buy records to begin with, no matter who, but I had no interest in the Byrds and all those people you mentioned. Totally, you know, I just was still listening to Sam and Dave and Otis Redding and, you know, Earth, Wind and Fire. I didn't really, I wasn't into the LA soft rock scene at all.
Is that because you were playing that sort of music, or just your musical taste, and when you got a chance to listen, that's what you listened to?
No, I always liked, I guess, for lack of a better word, you know, kind of groove-oriented soul music. That's what I like.
Yeah.
I wasn't into all those bands back then. Mind you, I wasn't even into Jimi Hendrix. I didn't even get into him until 20 years after he died. Didn't know the first thing about him.
Is that because in the States, radio stations then even concentrate a little bit more on a particular genre? Or was it just easier to not listen to that stuff?
Because the FM stations that were springing up all around America in the late 60s were playing all that music, all those kind of avant-garde, well, the American bands, the first, you know, like coming out of San Francisco, you know, Moby Grape and Grateful Dead and the Byrds, and, you know, there's one after the other, you know, but FM stations were playing them to death on radio. But I didn't listen to those stations. I really didn't listen much at all. But I just wasn't into that music. I just didn't grab me.
Yeah. But now it has.
Not in a big way, though. I'm certainly more appreciative of good songs and that whole singer-songwriter thing. So yeah, I'm into that. I mean, I don't listen to music at home, so I don't have any records. I don't have records of these artists we're talking about. I've never really listened to music in my home. Occasionally I put a radio on in the car, and whatever comes at me, it's what I hear. But I've sort of never been, I mean, I like music, obviously, but I've never been a listener or had a record collection.
So would you say you've never been a fan?
Well, I mean, there are a few people who I would say I'm a fan of, like the Young Rascals. They really got to me because it was, you know, one of the first bands in America that had the real rhythm and blues, black influence thing going on. 4 Italian guys from New York. They were like the Beatles to me. I mean, I liked the Beatles, you know, I watched them on TV when they came to America, and the Stones, and I heard the tunes on the radio, and I was kind of, you know, digging it. But I wasn't crazy about it. But when the Rascals came out, you know, with the whole kind of blue-eyed soul thing, and they did it well, I really went ballistic for that band. I would go anywhere to see them. You know, it was a big moment when I met Dino Danelli, the drummer, who was like the Buddy Rich of my generation. They were great players, 2 great singers, they had the songs, but it was soulful and funky. And I was, you know, completely mad for them. And you'd have to call me a fan.
Right.
That was the first time it happened.